Welcome, everybody, to A Perfect Waste of Time, episode number 3. Hello. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Like I said, this is the third episode of the podcast, and the side podcast, I should say. And it's, it should be the fourth, and I'm going to come clean right now. I recorded last month in May an episode, but unfortunately, it was right around the Uvalde shooting that happened, and it was not a fun time. A horrible situation, and one that needs to be addressed, not only in Uvalde, but all of the U.S., gun control. And I kind of, not only did I just go ramble about certain things, but also it was super late at night. So rambling plus tired plus late equals not a fun time, not a fun episode to listen to. So I talked over with Bruce, who does, a minute with Bruce, a hot minute with Bruce. And I said, you know what? Why don't we just skip this month because we both weren't having fun. So that's what we did, and that's why we're here now on episode 3. But so again, the situation, I saw that actually, just kind of going in here, the Senate passed a historic bipartisan gun deal. So, hey, you know what? Any progress is good. So hopefully, more good things happen about that. And but my heart goes out to anybody who's lost anybody in any kind of incident that involves a gun, especially at a public area. So guns, right? I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If waiving my gun rights means that one less person gets shot, hey, I'm totally for that. Take my gun rights away. I don't need them anyway. But I didn't want to dwell into that issue because, again, it's not a fun issue. And it's honestly, there are smarter people who know more about it, who can cover it to its fullest. So what I wanted to talk about today was just something that's going on in the podcast world, in my life, in Casting for Two life, which is always exciting and something that I don't get to talk about a lot because, again, I just kind of live it. And this podcast, since its first year, has always gone to a convention called RTX. It's a convention that Rooster Teeth Productions puts on in Austin. And I meet a lot of cool people there. And I've gotten to do a lot of fun interviews that I'm so grateful for. Looking back at the many years I've been going and just seeing the people that I've been able to chat with is just, I'm always grateful for it. But I started going back in 2013 and, 2014, I'm sorry. 2013 was, when I first started this podcast. And then 2014 just kind of, on a whim, my friend Sean and I were going to this, convention, and I said, hey, I have this podcast. I've been doing it for a year. I kind of knew how to talk to publicists. Again, still a year fresh out, so I was still trying to figure all that stuff out. So I just emailed Rooster Teeth and said, hey, I have a podcast. Here's all the info. I'd love to get media passes and interview the talent if possible. And I didn't think I was going to hear anything about it. And then just a couple days, they were like, okay, yeah, who do you want to interview? And I just said, whoever you'd like me to interview. I just was, again, just completely shocked and caught off guard. And they sent me over this fantastic list of people to chat with in the Rooster Teeth family. And it was one of those moments that I certainly will never forget, because it was just a moment of, whoa, I don't know what I'm doing right now. Let me try to figure this out on the go. And honestly, I probably didn't want to show the people I was interviewing that I didn't know what I was doing. But still, it was a super fun experience. And I got to go again in 2015 and 2016 and 2017 and 2018 and 2019. And then 2020 was what it was, and 2021 as well. But I'm back for 2022 at Rooster Teeth at RTX. And, again, it's something that I'm super grateful for. And every year when I apply to go to the convention, even though I've been going since 2014, I still have this scared like feeling about, oh man, am I going to get invited back? Because honestly, it could all end one year. But like with everything, especially with this podcast, I'm still super grateful and honored to be able to do what I do, to talk with who I talk. And so I just enjoy the ride while it's going, you know what I mean? And another reason why, this is so special is because, the convention is always the 1st of January or July, except sometimes it's in August, but, this year, July. It also marks the podcast birthday. The July is when I decided, you know what, I'm going to go out here and do this podcast, and I'm going to do something on my own that I don't quite know what to do, but you know what, I'm going to try it anyway. And so July is just a huge month of looking back at what I've done and just feeling grateful, feeling accomplished, but always still wanting to move ahead and keep on going forward for myself. And so that's what I try to do. That's why I came up with this whole side podcast, is because I wanted to, again, try and push myself to do something different. And I've been, again, pretty vocal, because this will mark the 9th year of the podcast, and 9 years is a long time doing something. And again, something I never thought I'd keep going and doing. But after 9 years, things do kind of get a little bit stale. And again, I've talked about this on other interviews where, sometimes I don't want to talk. Sometimes I'm tired. I want to go to sleep, which is the same thing. But I still keep going, and I still keep doing it, because I still love this. I still love what I do. But throwing in a wrench every once in a while, I think is a good thing, especially for somebody like me who has just gone so long. I always laugh when people ask me how the podcast is going, because honestly, I really feel like this podcast has become sentient. It's a well-oiled machine, and it just goes. If I am or am not behind the wheel, it's just going to keep going, which is also kind of exciting, because I would love to see a Chris less casting for 2. Just because I think that'd be very interesting to see what others people can bring. And I know I have some friends that, are podcasters or former podcasters that I would love to see them step into, a more hosting role. And that's why I always offer my platform to them, because I think I do have some very talented friends that could actually hold this down. But still, just kind of going off one tangent into the other, not tangent, but just one thing into the other. But yeah, this July marks July 2022 marks 9 years, entering the 9th year of the podcast. And what that means for you is that just a bunch of special episodes. Again, going to RTX, I have some things cooking up. I never like to announce what I'm doing, because there's always that chance it's not going to happen. But still, I have some things coming up that I'm super excited for, and I can't wait for not only for it to happen, but also for it to be heard. But I'm super excited for the 9th year. Like everything, I just kind of, again, take it one step at a time. So I'm just so awesome, so fortunate. And so when January rolls around, just be ready for some awesome new content. Again, RTX is going to be the main bulk of that. Of that content coming out there. So of course I'll be posting about it. And yeah, it's just a fun time. I would be lying if I said I wasn't afraid of COVID, just because I'm somebody who doesn't get out that much. So it is something where I am going to ease into it. Still wearing a mask. I got my hand sanitizer. I'm going to kind of maybe not take part in as many panels, or, I know that there's going to be some outside stuff that I am interested in doing. But yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting event, and I'm super looking forward to it, just because I always tell people this, and I always truly mean it. RTX for me is like Christmas. It's where I have so much fun, and it's so funny because I have so much fun, yet I'm quote unquote working the event. I'm running around, not sleeping, not eating, just going from interview to panel to the floor, so it's just a way to keep me going, keep me active, which, since COVID, I really haven't been active. I have the COVID-15. So yeah, it just super excited for RTX coming up. Super excited for year 9. And I'm just super excited that for anybody listening, thank you so much for going on this journey with me, continuing, getting off, just starting, wherever you are on this journey. I thank you from the bottom of my heart that you are here with me right now. But so returning once again is the almighty Bruce Burhans, and he, as always, has got a minute on this podcast devoted to him that I like to call A Minute with Bruce, giving you all the news you need to know. Bruce, what do you got for us?
Hello and welcome back. My name is Bruce Burhans, and we have quite a bit to go over this month. For starters, the FDA ordered Juul to take its e-cigarette products off store shelves. The Supreme Court ruled 6-3 that the Second Amendment guarantees the right to carry guns in public, and the Senate gun violence prevention bill cleared 65-33. Its next stop is in the House. In lighter news, the NBA draft was yesterday, shout out to Detroit, while Kenobi reached its end on Disney+, leaving me and many others in tears, I'm sure. The hottest rumor in Washington right now is that the Supreme Court will overturn Roe v. Wade before the month ends, right as they go on vacation. If you want to stay up to date with everything else going on, subscribe to my weekly newsletter Launchpad, which will be returning from its own vacation on July 3rd. Thank you.
Thank you so much again, Bruce, for giving us the news that we need. Again, Bruce, you can find him on Twitter and Instagram at Local Alien Party. His weekly newsletter is at Weekly Launchpad. Again, super excited that to have him involved. and super great to have him just tell it like it is. Love it. Thank you, as always. Thank you, Bruce. Now we're going into the other part of the podcast where I want to, help other people, not just myself, people out there in the world that, have a lot of questions that are just looking for it to be answered. And so that's why we are going to have a Q&A as always. And today's question comes from a person who might, some call my lover, some call my BFFFF. I just call him the man, the myth, the legend, because he's all of that. Mr. Ryan Furster. Ryan, what do you got for me today?
Hey, Chris, long time listener, first time caller. I just wanted to send you a shout out because you're the man. You're the man, and I love you, and you're the best. My question is, you remember that time that we were in a hotel room and we were drinking Lone Star beer? That was awesome. Okay, bye.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. It's so funny because that was a really fun time. It was again happened at RTX, this is such a cool, awesome post that Ryan and I were just hanging out for a good chunk of the morning because he got in from South Carolina. And he was just like, hey, I'm here. Who's going to be around? And I was around, and I said, Brian, we're going to hang out. We're going to become best friends. And he took me back to his room that he was going to rent out with other people. And I told him my deepest, darkest secrets during that trip while he drank. And he says he forgot them, which, kind of made me sad, if I'm being honest with you. But maybe it was for the best. I don't know. But Ryan has always just been a fantastic person at Twitter at Mile High Firster. Just Ryan, I love you, and I wish I could see you at RTX. I wish I could just see you every day of my life. But yeah, so I just, again, another fantastic relationship that was born out of RTX. Ryan, love you. And Ryan, thank you so much for the shout out. Also, Ryan was there with me when I was interviewing a YouTube group that unfortunately isn't around anymore, Couch Shop. I gave him a little bit to do. So if you feel inclined to do so, go back and listen to that episode. This is Couch Shop. I don't even know what episode it is, but it's Couch Shop number 2. You'll hear a special surprise cameo from Ryan Furster. Ryan, love you, buddy. But yeah, so this was, again, the third episode. I didn't want it to be too crazy because last month was an absolute cluster F of a month. And so this month, I'm trying to start out positives, trying to be good, trying to be happy as we roll into July. Because that is, again, a big month for me personally. And so that's where I'm going to leave you. That's where I'm going to leave you all. Again, Bruce, thank you so much for always bringing the heat and the fire, if only for a minute. Ryan, thank you so much for your question. For anybody out there who would like to submit a question, you can go to castingfor2.com, and there will be a link there that will take you to my SpeakPipe website so that you can leave me a message, which I would appreciate because I need some voicemail. Send me a voicemail, please. And also, follow me online, Twitter, Instagram, more Instagram because I like Instagram more, at castingfor2. But again, be on the lookout for more content coming out in July. And really, everybody out there, be good to each other, be safe, and treat everybody with respect. That's all I got to say. That's it. But I will see you again next month for another perfect time to waste. perfect waste of time. Oh my gosh. Lord, Chris, how dare you do that? Which next month's episode will be the 29th. Again, have a good day and love each other, please. Bye-bye.